Oh god, well that's a good start, isn't it? I forgot to turn my mic on. So, well, hello, and to another day of, well, another day. Welcome to day 7 of the Peach Advent Tea Calendar. And today, day 7, it is energy tea. Containing Aesop, which I have no idea what that is. Green mint, fänkål, I don't know what that is in fänkålsfrö, I don't know what that is in English. Nypon, no idea what that is in English. And chamomile. I'll let it be for 10 minutes, but it's still pretty warm. Well, it tastes just like a chamomile tea. So, it's good. I'm actually recording this pretty late. It's 15:00 or 15:00. How would you say that? I like saying time in 24 hour. I don't like the 12 hour and then having to go for you Americans AM or PM. I don't like that. I think the standard for everyone should just be the 24-hour clock. It's better in every way. Well, that is that from the tea, actually. Because me and my mom was just, well, I say just, we actually went from a promenade for like 45 minutes. And, well, you'll see some, well, I took pictures of, I think, how many statues was it? 2 or 3? Let's see, 1, 2, well, 3. Which were all by the same person. And anyways, while we were going there, well, we saw like, oh, someone was getting arrested in front of the subway station. And I know what you guys are gonna ask. It was a Swedish guy, and I'm assuming he got arrested because he was on something. And the fact that it looked like someone has tried to destroy the barricades to get in, which I'm assuming is him. So, yeah. But the thing about that story was the fact that there was a guy who was so happy. Kind of like he just came in with his phone and was so happy, smiling, kind of like with his selfie, kind of like, oh god, kind of like that. I actually felt what I would assume would be the feeling of cringe. I kind of wanted to be like, oh god, you're this, get away, in a sense, because I mean, it wasn't really, other than the fact that the guy was kind of like screaming a little. He wasn't resisting arrest or anything, so it wasn't really anything kind of like, oh man, that's so funny, you know, or that like kind of like, oh, they're fighting. No, he was just being pushed against the glass. But that guy thought was super funny. So, and mom was kind of like, all right, let's go. And I was like, what's the rush? And then my mom said, I don't want to be if something happens, then the worst thing to be is a witness. Because my mom is one person who she kind of like, she's not afraid that if something were to happen, that something would happen to us. It probably wouldn't, because we were a decent amount away. So if something happened, we will probably not be affected. But she does not want to even see it happen. Because then, well, you are a witness, and that's probably something my mom is kind of like, it's better just to not see it at all than to be a witness. So we just continue walking, which was good as well, because man, I don't want to watch people just get arrested in the cold standing still. I want to go on the promenade and look at the landscape. I mean, we're trying to get away from the, I guess, village town is what you would call it. The city, no, it's not a city. I don't live in a city. So I like the village center. But man, the term village sounds wrong, but I think you would call it that. I don't know. I mean, it also, yeah, it sounds wrong because I don't know how many people live where I live. Let's see. I would assume maybe 20 to 30,000. Because one thing I know is that they are planning on making where I live more like a city. So it's going to be like a semi-city. That is their goal. Up to 10 years from now. That's why there's a lot of things being built. They're going to... I mean, the plans that they have look pretty interesting because it's not... They don't plan to remove any more greenery than they have done right now. So what they have removed is what they are going to remove. And then everything else is going to be built in pretty smart areas. So, I mean, one thing that is bad about all this building that they're planning on doing is that our apartment has lost so much money in value. Compared to whatever. Because a couple of years ago, my mom wanted to sell where we live and buy a little small house in the same place where I live. But the thing is that we needed a little bit more money to do so, even with selling this and all that, because it would be a 2-story. Very simple. It's a 2-story small house. And then my mom was kind of like, you will get the bottom and I will get the top because I can't use stairs. But we were kind of like, the way that we are right now, it's not feasible. And also, where are we going to get that money? Because we could, in theory, what we could have done is take out a loan to do that. But then it would be quite annoying and we did not have the electric wheelchair and all that then. So my mom would have to push me. And it's kind of like, do you want to push me that extra 5 to 10 to 15 minutes every time we're going to do something? So I've kind of like talked my mom away from doing that. But now that apartment, it's not an apartment, that mini house has gone up in value and it's going to keep going up in value. From when when my mom thought of buying it, it's gone up like 1.5 million Swedish kroners, while what we have has just gone down. So it's kind of like all the apartments are going down, but all the houses have exploded in value. So yeah, that would have been a smart investment by my mom. But the circumstances we were in at that time prevented us from doing that. And that would have been so helpful for us, actually. But, oh well. And what were we talking about? Why am I talking about this? Alright, so I was searching kind of like how many people live where I live. It doesn't say. But they do plan on over the next 10 years to kind of like increase the population with around 20%. With everything new that they're building and all that. Because they're building quite big places. Yeah, but I would assume that there is between 20 to maybe 30,000 people living here. What else? But the only thing that I see is the total population of Sweden by 31st of December. It says 10.2 million, and women were 5 million, and men was 5.1. Yeah, so... yeah. And the reason for that is because most people that come into Sweden tend to be males. I mean, the born in Sweden and all that, it's pretty similar, but because of the amount of people that are immigrated, the vast majority of them are males. Which, to a point, isn't that a bit weird? The fact that the people here, the more leftist party, are kind of like, oh, we need to help them, because they're are utsatta in the countries they're from. But we focus more on letting the males come in rather than the females, who are way more... I mean, I would be like, they probably... The females and the probably people who are part of the LGBT communities of those countries are way more under threat than the straight males. So yeah, if we were going to help people, I think we should focus more on the LGBT and women. Let's see. Since I don't remember what the point of that was, I don't remember. Let's answer some comments. By Lazul. Finally, a game I wanna watch. Shame about the Steam controller. I already knew it sucked because there was a Dark Souls streamer I remember that always complained about it. It also disconnects out of fucking nowhere. And about the GF. You will get so bored of that shit so quickly, I know it. Because it's a responsibility women want to be carried through life. GFs are unironically kinda like pets. Because it's a responsibility women... Oh, okay. It's a responsibility and women want to be carried through life. Yeah, I guess. I mean... I don't remember what I said, but... I'm sure you're right. I probably would be bored. I don't know. I mean, if I were to, I would probably have an open relationship, if anything. Let's see. Finally a game. Oh yeah, because this was a comment to the day 4 Advent. And at the end it was Yooka-Laylee. So, I mean, I'm not gonna play Yooka-Laylee until whenever I get a new controller. I'm not... The Steam controller has been a huge fail, I agree. I've never had problem with the Steam controller disconnecting. But I use the Steam controller wired. I don't use it wireless. So... I've not had that problem. And let's see. Well, there are another comments about Lazul, but I think it's better to take someone else first. X3MBO. X3MBO. I'm just here for those peachy vibes. Andreas makes me want to have passionate sex with men, despite my undying love for women. You might be bisexual. But you are typing peach wrong. The H is supposed to be before the C to get my peachy vibes. But thanks for that compliment. And then let's go back to Lazul because there are no other comments. Hopefully in 20 years they don't take down those aesthetic statues to make them into Africans lol. Also, Blasphemous is really good. And that is to day 5 Advent. Yeah, I mean, I think that if they were going to take them down, they would probably take them down because of religious reasons, if something. Because if they would be, oh, it's degeneracy, blah blah blah, nudity. That is probably the reason why. I don't think they would take them down to make them into Africans. Obviously, it's a joke. I understand that. But I genuinely am I guess. Well, I think it's using the word afraid is wrong. But I could see it actually happening, of them taking these statues down that are really good. I really like the fact that this place where I live, there are a lot of statues actually by artists and all that, because of the fact that every time they built something, they would hire in artists to do statues of all the areas and all that. And I hope they continue with that. With the new things that they're gonna build, I hope. I mean, it does look like they're gonna make it beautiful, but you never know, right? And I still think that, yeah, bring in the artists to make statues like this. Or like statues like those day 5 ones, because you'll see some of the statues right here, which is like a statue of an apple or of a snail. And the thing about the snail one, I can show it up right now. The problem with this, or probably the problem with that thing, is the fact that when you walk, you are not looking at the snail's face or the front of the snail. You're looking at it from the back. And the problem is also they've put the snail, the rock is like this, and they've put the snail right here. And while you walk right here, so you're mostly seeing rock and then a little bit of the snail. So you have to go all around. You have to go around to just look at like, oh, what is that? That's retarded. Take the rock, flip it. But the thing is that is the way they wanted it to be, because the little plaque that is the front of the sculpture is on the back side of the sculpture. Kind of like, oh, that's stupid. I mean, I'm guessing they did that because the shell is what we wanted to really show. But the shell is basically covered up by the side of the rock. So that was stupid. And the other one is just an apple. It's kind of like, all right. It's small. I mean, what can you say? So, and these 3 right here that I'm showing right now, they were of the female artist. And the 2 ones from day 5 was from a male artist. Because what they did was they gave every artist a section. And I don't know if they got different budgets or whatever. I'm guessing, this is just my guess, is that they gave all the artists a section of what they want to do and the amount of sculptures they want. And then the artists could basically maybe do a little bit kind of whatever they wanted within certain genres, I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. And yeah, I would probably say out of the sculptures, I think these ones were probably the worst. I mean, yeah, sure, the cat with the ball is it's okay. But it does remind a lot about that other sculpture with the cat and the yarn. But just a worse version, kinda, I don't know. I mean, all these 3 were of the same artist. And I think out of these, oh yeah, there's also I think it's a cock, a rooster in English, which I don't know who the artist was. The plaque for it was, you couldn't read it. It was so dirty that you just couldn't read it. So, I mean, I'm assuming it was probably from the girl, and if it is, this is her best. That right there is her best. I mean, I guess I would probably be like a little bit more. I would probably give the snail and the apple a bit more credit if they were bigger. If they were even like more oversized, then I'd be like, you know what? That could be a bit better. But they're so small that it kind of like the rock covers the statue that's on the rock. Kind of like, oh, that's stupid. And it was the clouds were pretty dark today, so we did not go to the area with the human statues. If the weather is a bit nicer, we're gonna go back there and see if there's any other statues by that guy, or if there's other statues there. Because that is something that's been pretty fun. Even though we lived here for a long time, we have never actually looked at the statues, because they've just been like, oh, they're just there. We've not actually gone there and just look at them. So this has been pretty fun that me and my mom has been doing, where we just go around just to find statues. So yeah, thank you for watching. And I mean, I think this episode, Jesus Christ, is 22 minutes, and I've basically just been talking about statues.